People, Arno TV is back once again live on YouTube, and we are back with you, bringing you more updates on this intensifying situation with the UAPs that is spreading all over the place. And we have more amazing footage to bring you of what on earth is going on out there. It is absolutely getting crazy out there. As I've said previously, this is like daily watching an episode in real time of the X-Files or something like that, and things are getting full on sci-fi and Project Bluebeam out there at the moment. This is just unbelievable people, where we are now at, okay, at the end of December 2024. And may I remind people, as we've told you about the predictions that Cliff High made in using this linguistic software, that was this prediction, as we've keep saying to you, was made in 2009. In 2009, and this prediction was that a key marker event would have to occur for these predictions to pan out, basically. And the key marker event, as we keep telling you, was that Joe Rogan would interview Donald Trump, and 39 days after that key marker event, the hidden science would come into full display. It talked about battles in the skies between non-human craft and human craft. And what have we seen play out since December the 3rd this year? And December the 3rd was the 39th day after that Joe Rogan and Donald Trump interview, which took place in late October this year, prior to the American elections. Well, let's go over to the internet, people, straight away, and let's show you some of the updates that have come through in the last 24 hours. And again, some absolutely unbelievable footage. Okay, so let's start here, okay, on Casper site. And this site we've shown you previously, and this guy has been bringing a lot of updates on this developing story and has provided some amazing footage. So let's just have a look at some of the footage that Casper Site's provided today with this with this continuing saga that is developing on a daily basis. And may I remind people out there, our governments have been coming out on TV, whether it's representatives from the FBI or senators, etc., basically telling us that all we're seeing in the sky is, hobbyist drones, okay? Hobbyist drones and misidentified aircraft like helicopters and conventional aircraft. And as I've said before, no doubt that some of these sightings have been misidentified conventional aircraft, okay? But the amount of sightings now, we're talking thousands across multiple states in America, multiple countries around the world, and some of the things that we have shown you are quite clearly not conventional drones or conventional aircraft. Okay, so let's start here today, and we're going to be talking about some of the things that we've already shown you, these plasmoids or orbs that are appearing everywhere, and I'm talking everywhere. This footage that we're bringing you on this is absolutely unbelievable, people, unbelievable. So let's start here, okay, on Casper Site's channel. I think I called him Casperlite previously for some reason, but it is Casper Site. Great channel. So as we've told you, everybody that any channel that we show you when we're going through this info with you, make sure that you give them a like and a subscribe, okay? And while you're doing that, if you're watching Arno TV in the live right now, or you're watching it on catch up later, it's very important for people out there to like and subscribe to this channel also. Help us grow this channel, help us get the reach out of this developing story, because as we've told you, the UK mainstream media, they are totally and utterly silent about this story. And these drones or plasmoids or UAPs or whatever they are have been flying around our skies since the start of November, since this story developed, with total and utter impunity. And at the same time, we've had the authorities telling us that they don't know what these things are, they've got no idea where they come from, who or what is controlling them, and what the motives are of these things in our skies. This is just unbelievable, people. So let's just start with an update on Casper, okay? And we'll, obviously interrupt some of this footage with some discussion to bring to you, but let's just start here with an update on what has been going on in the last 24 hours since we were live with you.
In fact, not just that year, August the 6th. Because what happened there, the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. Now listen to the dates, August 6th, 1945. Now the other day I did a video, and it was there was a small section when I spoke about a gentleman, a CEO of a drone company, suggesting that the idea was that they were sniffing out nuclear radiation, okay? This is what these drones were doing. And in fact, that message now has spread throughout the news outlets. In fact, what these drones are actually doing is they're sniffing out nuclear radiation.
And there is a theory, just to stop Casper Site here, there is a theory that is going around at the moment, and we showed you that footage the other day, that some radioactive material has gone missing, okay? And the theory is that these so-called drones or UAPs that have been spotted everywhere are trying to locate and hunt down this radioactive material. None of this has been 100% confirmed, because as we've said, there's been absolutely no information at all from the authorities, which is leading to huge amounts of speculation online. And of course, people are going to speculate when they are not being provided with any information whatsoever from the authorities. Let's continue with Casper Site.
People agree with that. Some people don't. Some people think that it might be just a little bit of a segue to get out or something. I'm not too sure. I don't want to go into that too much because I did cover it on the other video. The theory goes that these extraterrestrials are looking after us. They're keeping an eye on us. And when this nuclear bomb was hit on Hiroshima in 1945, extraterrestrials were like, that's no good. Let's get down there and we need to watch. Now, some people might connect that with evil.
Just to interrupt Casper Site again there, it's very important to point out to Arno TV viewers and anyone who's watching this channel for the first time, I want them to consider what has been said in the congressional hearings in 2024 and 2023 with people such as Luis Elizondo and people such as David Koresh and others who have stated on the record, that these drones or UAPs or plasmoids or whatever they are, historically have been able to interfere with our nuclear weapons, and they have a history of being able to turn them on and off. I want people to realise that this has been said in the congressional disclosure hearings on UAPs. This is on record, people.
Evil, right? ETs being the demons. That was the start of something extremely dark that came into our lives. But I don't want to go into that one too yet, because I want to keep on the road here, right? A couple of years later, the Roswell incident in 1947, and a lot of people suggest that was a burst of our technology. We were like doing this along the technology, and then the Roswell hit, and our technology just went whoop, like that.
And also, while he's talking about the aftermath of World War II, there is also a theory out there that people are speculating on online, and people are bound to speculate, as we've said, when no information has been provided from the authorities, that there is a speculation out there that in the early 1950s, a deal was made at that point in time between the leaders of the world, the leaders of the American government at that time, and some extraterrestrial beings that basically their technology would be shared with us in exchange for some how can I put this? Some cooperation between the United States government and this extraterrestrial beings, or whatever they are, that they would provide us with some technology in exchange that they would be able to come to this planet and perform so-called experiments on individuals on this planet. This is a theory that is out there, and I am not saying that that is the facts. I'm telling you that these are things that people are speculating online, and these theories are only growing and intensifying because of the lack of information that is being provided. Okay? These are the things that people are talking about online. This is getting absolutely bizarre out there, people.
Right? And apparently the US may have taken this technology, reverse engineered it, and got things like fiber optics.
And talking again, just to interrupt Casper Sight once more, talking about reverse engineering technology. Again, it's important to state to Arno TV viewers that on the record in the UAP disclosure hearings in Congress, people like Luis Elizondo and David Gresh and others have stated on record that the American government and other governments are fully aware that they have in their possession non-human technology, non-human craft that they have recovered and been back engineering this technology for decades, and they also have recovered from these crafts non-human biologics. This is on the record in Congress, people. So are these wild theories? Because this has been stated by people who had top level security clearance on the record in Congress, people. This is not me that's saying things like this. This is on the record in Congress.
Kevlar and memory metals, stealth aircraft technology, and listen to this one, integrated circuits, microchips. I just want you to listen to this video, because Google, but they have created a CPU. A CPU is like the brain of a PC, the brain of a laptop. You get it in your mobile phones. It's the square thing, right? Usually on a green motherboard with a silver square in the middle, right? And that does all the calculations, right? So listen to this. Right where we've got this stuff happening. I know. I'm just excited about it, right? Listen.
Okay, this may or may not be relevant for what's happening right now, but just earlier on this week, Google announced the release of a quantum chip. In a statement, they said it performed a computation in under 5 minutes that would take one of today's fastest supercomputers 10 septillion years. This mind-boggling number exceeds known timescales in physics and vastly exceeds the age of the universe. It lends credence to the notion that quantum computation occurs in many parallel universes, in line with the idea that we live in a multiverse. Now, over the last decade or so, I'm sure you know,
This is like...
Where has this quantum chip suddenly arrived from, people? Okay? And how is it that Google have got their hands on this chip? Okay? That is so much more advanced than any supercomputer that we've got out there. And this has just been announced. This has just been announced, people. Yeah? It just happens that this has been announced just after... from the start of November, when all these drones, UAPs and orbs and have all been flying around our skies with total impunity. Is this a coincidence, people, or is this some bigger picture that is actually going on here, people? It's just getting more and more bizarre as each day goes by.
Endgame. This is Avengers Endgame. This is Doctor Strange thinking about every possible situation that could happen.
Notice that the idea of a multiverse has become a lot more prevalent in our society, almost as if the concept has been eased into our consciousness. What if these crafts, these UAPs, are not coming from outer space or the oceans, but what if they're coming from another dimension entirely within our own planet?
And again, just to stop this video here, it's important to reiterate to Arno TV viewers, this idea of a multiverse and things coming from a different dimension is also things that were discussed by people like David Gresh in the congressional hearings in 2023 and 2024. This is not, again, something that Arno is making up. This has been stated on the record, people, on the record. So these type of things that would have been thought as of wild ideas and conspiracy theories not that long ago have been stated on the record in Congress, people. I want you to think about that.
Now, sounds far-fetched, I know. But there's also another gentleman that I'm going to show you near the end of this video that who knows his stuff. Well, he claims to know his stuff, and he was being very sort of safe around his story. I'm going to show you in a bit, okay? Let's just show you some footage of these orbs a minute and what they've been up to recently. The other day, I showed you a couple of videos of where these orbs were approaching these drones and the drones were falling out of the sky. Given it was only 2 videos, it's not something that is... I don't think there's actually a war going on. I think something happened there. There is a theory, one of my own theories, may have changed by now, I think, but I thought maybe the orbs are giving these drones energy, right? Hence why they can stay up in the air for so long. I'm not too sure about that now, because I think that if that was the case, we'd be seeing more of these orbs touching these drones. But
the thing is, people out there, nobody can be 100% sure what is going on. And there is absolutely no doubt that people are seeing these orbs or plasmoids more and more. And we are about to see more footage of these orbs or plasmoids, which, as I've told you repeatedly, are flying around our skies with utter impunity.
But mate, look at this. Just in, 2 drones spotted being followed by a helicopter in Bradenton, Florida. Right, this is good.
And I want people to think again as well that this all started in America, in the tri-state area, which is around New York. Now, this then spread, obviously, to Pennsylvania, to Ohio, to Oregon. We're now talking about Florida. We've already talked about Florida the other day. California, Texas, Arizona. This is going on all over the United States, and it's not just going on in the United States, it's going on in Brazil, it's been going on in the United Kingdom, it's been going on in Germany, it's been going on in Russia, and it's been going on in China as well. This is going global, people, and as I've told you before, how long do we have to wait? How long do we have to wait before these things show up in a sky near you, above your town, above your city, and you start seeing this with your own eyes?
I've got better ones, but I need to show you this. What I find amazing, other than just what I'm seeing here, is let's just think about these pilots in this helicopter. How many pilots out there that have been instructed to follow these things, to take photographs of these things? All these pilots working for the military, working for the government, they're all out there and they've got the knowledge and they're just not talking. All of them. It just made me think.
He's absolutely right. Okay, we've had multiple reports coming in from pilots, military and commercial, that have been seeing these plasmoids or orbs up at the altitudes of cruising commercial planes, may I add. Okay, and you know, there's been a blanket silence from the authorities when we damn well know that pilots, both commercial and military, are seeing these things. And here we can see what appears to be a helicopter pilot that's been instructed to follow these orbs, drones, UAPs, whatever they may be. This is unbelievable, people.
Things like this dude has literally been told to track, or dudette, to track 2 orbs in the sky. Amazing. I just okay, and well done for the person who recorded this as well. Drones, ours, versus plasmoids, the orbs, not only human origin. Look at this.
It is going down in Dimona. Look at this shit. Look at this. These is not even. Oh my God, they done shot like some smart bombs or something. Look at this shit. They in it. Drone bombs or something. Look at this. What? Oh my God, what they done shot over here? Look at this. I'm filming this shit. It is crunk. It is crunk out here. What? What they done shot down?
They're just multiplying.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Look. Look. Every direction they coming.
Hobbyist.
All over.
Hobbyist drone.
And this is actually much clearer footage of the so-called drone UAP battle that occurred over that military base in military air base, should I say, in Ohio, that we tried to show you the other day. This is actually much clearer footage, and you can hear the air raid sirens going off in the background at the airbase. This is unbelievable, and we're led to believe people that this is hobbyist drones. Okay, does this look like hobbyist drones that would be doing this over a military airbase? And this, may I add, is some of the most secure airspace in the United States of America. I want people to think about this.
Now, talking about them separating, I've got footage now to show you of these orbs popping off these other orbs from it. It's people say this is hobbyists. Like, come on now. Now, I saw a comment on one of my videos saying, it was obviously a local, right? And he said, I see these all the time, these orbs. They've got a mind of their own. They know what they're doing. These are not just like balls of energy flapping about in the sky. These things know what they're doing. And here's a video to prove it, right? Watch this. Helicopter approaches this orb. Here's a helicopter. Here's your orb. Watch. Bye. See you later.
Look at the speed of these things. Look at the speed these things are moving. Do these look like hobbyist drones that are outrunning helicopters, and the speed and direction that these things are traveling? And we're led to believe that these are hobbyist drones, okay, or some kind of misidentified conventional aircraft. Does that look like that to you people? Does that look like that to you people out there? What on earth is happening in our skies?
Look at this thing. Now, here's a video from the X account Tangle Titty. He DM'd me and he was like, Ben, I saw this. Check this out. Look. This is his own video. Look how bright this thing goes. Look at this. It's like they're scoping out for something.
Again, people, is this, to your eyes, a conventional hobbyist drone? Because this is what you are being fed by the authorities. Do you believe, people, what you are being told? Because I, for one, do not believe footage like this is conventional hobbyist drones.
Amazing. These orbs are separating, or they're giving off other orbs. Look at this. This is in New York. All right?
As we've shown you this already, and we've got somebody else, one of the major channels, confirming, Caspersite confirming, that these orbs are flying around with impunity above New York, which is one of the most heavily populated cities on Earth. And this is happening in the skies above New York City.
Someone's saying it's some sort of mothership.
Is that it? Yeah, that's it right there. Hold on, let me still get it. Let me still go focus in. You know that.
Jesus. God, I'm looking at this. I can't believe it. It's not a whistle now. Did y'all
Oh my God, there's more coming.
look at this?
What is it? Planes don't look that color. There's a.
Are these drones,
that's
people?
It right there. Hold on, let me still get it. Let me still go
Are
focus
these
in.
conventional
Skyline over there,
drones?
Nashville, Tennessee. That's the skyline over there. I'm gonna see if I
Look
can
at
film
this.
and keep showing up outside.
Look at this now
Look
in
at that.
Nashville, Tennessee,
Look at
people.
that.
What on earth is going on out there?
Oh my gosh, do you see that?
Look at this, people.
Bro, I've seen it all over TikTok now. I've
Look
literally seen
at
it.
this.
This is right next to Nashville.
And again,
Tennessee.
a
Right
triangle
in Nashville,
forming.
Now that is not hobbyist drones. There's been some weird stuff on the ground level as well for people. So we've got, in the United Kingdom, streetlights doing this. This is something that you would see in the movies, guys. Normally when you have a power...
This has also been happening across the United States of America as well. Streetlights flashing on and off at random. Car lights flashing on and off at random. This is going on, people. We are not making this stuff up. When I've told you that, how long do we have to wait before we're going to start seeing these things in the skies above our towns? This is coming, people. And when it does, remember that Arno TV was telling you how long would it be before you started seeing this in a sky above your town, your city, your village, wherever you are, whatever country you're in. This is coming to you.
Power cut or a surge or something, they all go off at the same time and on, right? Not tubular bells. Go back over to the States. Look at this. Here we go.
This is weird, people. As I keep saying to people, it's like watching daily now an episode of The X-Files or some end of days biblical movie. This is just getting bizarre, people. Bizarre.
See, the other thing is as well, like, it's strange that you're seeing this, and this is what a lot of movie makers put on their videos, right? Lights flickering.
And when me and LJ in this stream the other day were talking about how, to a certain extent, we've all been indoctrinated by and manipulated in a certain way by movies about and books, films, etc. How we would all imagine an alien invasion to be. And this is all playing out now in reality, people, which begs the question, what really is actually going on? Nobody knows, but there's all sorts of questions and all sorts of theories that people are talking about, and it's intensifying out there online, okay? And this is only going to happen more and more, and there's only going to be more speculation, yeah, because there is a complete lack of information from the authorities, from the governments, from the military, from the intelligence communities. This is just unbelievable, people.
On their films, lights flickering before aliens come. Like, I'm sure they know things. I'm sure they do. And that's not all. Look at this. These are people's cars going off.
I had to pull over and pull this back up.
And I can confirm I've seen multiple footage of this type of thing in the last few days.
Goes over there and I thought maybe it's like a car club. They're just all meeting up. And it's a Thursday night. I just want to show you. But there's no one over there. There's not a body. There's not a person.
There's no alarms going off or anything. Just the lights flashing on and
around
off.
Atlanta.
This is just bizarre, people.
I'm going to zoom in just so you... But the video that I heard
back in New Jersey where this is happening.
This girl who was saying,
I've seen this happening in other states as well.
Lights flickering or anything
and
like that.
Looks like there's an orb up there as well.
My apartment car, my house lights, my house lights have been going off and flickering. And she made a video of lights just like this, doing the same thing in a parking lot. I have no idea how to find that or stitch it, but...
As we are starting to see this kind of thing in the UK now, as I've said in the previous streams that I've put out to all Arno TV viewers out there, especially the ones that are in the UK, if you encounter anything like this, or you see any of these orbs or drones or UAPs or whatever they are, and you capture any footage of this or you encounter this, please get in touch with me. And if you have any footage, I will air this on Arno TV and we will show this to everybody, because I've got a strange feeling people in the UK are going to start contacting me soon and telling me that they are experiencing this kind of thing, because this is just only getting, it's only intensifying on a daily basis. This is not dissipating, people. This is spreading from place to place, and it's just getting more and more and more and more people are reporting these things. This is no wind up. As anybody who's watched the last few streams and videos I've put out are probably realizing now that this is not any kind of wind up. I am being 100% serious. And as we've shown you, the congressional, what's been going on in these UAP disclosure hearings in Congress, we are not making this up. This is what is going on. And the UK media, the disgraceful, despicable UK media, have been completely and utterly silent about this. And may I remind people out there, as I keep doing, last month in November, these same UAPs, drones, orbs, or whatever they are, were flying around 4 RAF bases in the UK with total and utter impunity, with the authorities, the military, unable to bring these things down out of the sky with the technology that they already have, that they are able to bring conventional drones out of the sky. They can either return them to source, return them to sender, or they can actually bring them down out of the sky. And they were unable to do that. They were outrunning our aircraft. We had the SAS and the SBS being deployed to these bases, but our governments have told us there's absolutely nothing to worry about. But at the same time, they're telling us they don't know what these things are, who or what is in control of these things in our skies, and what their intentions are. But don't worry, people, don't worry, because our governments are telling us there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Now, do you believe what you are being told? And Arno TV viewers out there, please, if you get any of this footage, please send it in my direction and I will air this on Arno TV for you. And while we are talking about Arno TV, it is so important at the moment that those people that watch this channel, if you are not a subscriber to Arno TV, it doesn't cost you anything. Just click the subscribe button. And while you're doing that, just also click the notification bell so you get informed of future live streams and future videos that I will be putting out. And also like the video as well, because it helps the reach of the channel with the YouTube algorithm. Okay, get back to this because there's some amazing footage coming up.
That's not normal.
This is what's happening.
What is going on, people?
Not a single person.
We are not being told the truth.
And listen, I'll let the window down so you can hear. Because when I had like my radio on. There's no sound. Hold on, I'll even turn my car off.
That's so strange.
What is causing
so
this?
It's not the alarms going off.
It's just the lights flashing.
How peculiar.
On and off.
Now, news just in. Drones are being banned. Here we go.
Federal Aviation Administration issued bans on flying drones in multiple cities across New Jersey, including several in our area, due to security reasons. These areas are all now considered national.
I have to stop it there. He said, drones are being banned now in these locations due to security reasons. So, what were the What's the things been up there now for then for the 4 weeks? They're not security reasons, no? You can't take them down?
Well, I actually have a theory on this. I think why now, and bearing in mind this, like Casper is saying, has been going on since the start of November. I think why now some of the authorities in certain cities are trying to ban these drones flying around is so that they can get military aircraft up in the air and then now maybe start to identify if there are no drones in the air. They can now start to maybe identify what these orbs or UAPs that are up there that are quite clearly not conventional drones or hobbyist drones, as they've been telling people, actually are. Okay, that is my theory.
If people ignore this and they go up there with their hobbyist drones, what are they going to do? Leave them and say it's no threat? You've just made a rule. So what happened to the rule 4 weeks ago?
National Defense Airspace. Here's a map of those sites: the city of Camden, Gloucester City, Winslow Township, Evesham, Hancock's Bridge in Lower Alloways Township in Salem County, West Hampton, Burlington, and Hamilton. Unmanned aircraft are not allowed in those areas through January 17th unless approved by the federal government. The FAA says pilots who violate the airspace, meaning pilots on the ground as well, may be detained and interviewed by law enforcement. The agency warns that the U.S. government may use deadly force against drones it deems an imminent threat.
Okay, I get why they're doing it. I understand. Like, they want to eliminate all of us taking our drones up there so they can actually assess the situation and find out if these actual drones are threats or not. But a lot of people, some news outlets are saying that, there's reports.
And I'm in no doubt, as I said all along, that some of the things that have been in the sky probably have been conventional drones, but the ones that people are reporting that have been the size of school buses and the size of SUVs are quite clearly not conventional drones. And these things have been flying in formations. They've been flying in in all sorts of sort of different formations in our skies that quite clearly look coordinated. And these were quite clearly never conventional drones. This is just unbelievable that this is what has been fed to the public since the start of November, people.
Reports that they're all hobbyist drones. They're either hobbyist drones, stars, or helicopters. People's private own helicopters and things like that. Like, these are just... basically they're saying you're not seeing what you're seeing. Now, this next video I'm going to show you has been making the rounds and it's generating quite a little bit of a stir. There's a little bit of hate or confusion in some of the comments saying, oh, this is fake. But this is actually live footage. This is live footage of a beach in New Jersey, all right? Look at this. So we've got a 50 speed. All right. First of all, I think these lights going across, these are they're either the drones or I would imagine, here we go, that there might be planes. But look at that. That happened. And you might be thinking, okay, well, it's when the sunrise hits a certain point that reflects off of the ocean and illuminates. Okay, I get it. The sunrise is constantly up, right? You would imagine if it gets to that certain perfect point, that's going to happen. It's going to illuminate everything like that. But watch. And I gotta say, it doesn't look like a sunset. I know, this part down here does, but the actual thing here doesn't look like one. What's that all about? Why is that doing that? Why is it flashing like that? Look, is these orbs now? Are these drones?
We saw multiple orbs there coming across the sun.
Now, somebody in comments also said, oh, that's fake. The sun doesn't rise over New Jersey in that area. Well, I was like, really? So I actually Googled some pictures. Sunrise in New Jersey Beach. And there's quite a lot of sunrises, pictures in New Jersey Beach. Okay? If you're a local there, please tell me, is that the case? But look at this one here. Look at that. Look at this. Just where'd that come from? Look there. That's a clear sky. So what's the cutoff like? Like, what's going on here? I don't see any clouds cutting that off.
There is quite clearly, people, some very strange things afoot.
I don't know what to make of it.
The moment.
It's not
there
a very
no
clear
doubt about
image,
it.
Colourful, clear
Absolutely
image.
None. That there are strange things that are happening, and the public are not being told.
I don't see any clouds covering
there is no doubt
the sunrise, but I do know that there's sunrise there. Has it been doctored with? I've not gone over. I've got to be honest with you. I've not gone over to see the original live stream. Is the lens a little bit distorted? Is it a dirty lens? Is it a water droplet on the lens? I don't know. It's just very, very strange. I wanted to show you. Okay, over the water, videoed by a pilot, highly reputable. Look at this.
Look at the height of this thing, yeah? It's above the cloud line, people. Is this a hobbyist drone, okay? Above the cloud line, yeah? Does that sound like a hobbyist drone to you?
Maybe you do, I don't know. I don't think you do.
Look at this thing.
That thing disappeared.
And there is another one in the background. And another.
Oh, there's 3 of them now. 4. It just.
What is going on, people?
Did another one just come out of that?
This is
5 of them.
This is above the cloud line,
oh my
people.
God.
Does this look like anything that a conventional drone would do? And where have they gone? The other ones have now disappeared. And look at the way that this thing is moving. And what is happening in the clouds below?
Holy moly. That was from a channel, an X account called Shorty. Now, potentially, we've got a drone in a tree. And after I'm going to show you this video...
This, people, is absolutely bizarre, okay? And anybody out there that wants to tell me that this is some kind of conventional drone, well, I am not buying it. I am not buying it. This is just getting weird beyond belief, people. Weird beyond belief.
I'm then going to show you how somebody's enhanced these images, okay? Look at this, mate. This is like some sort of pod of some sort.
It looks like an embryo. It looks like there's something moving inside it.
What? That's... Mate, that's moving in there.
What on earth is going on, people? What on earth is happening out there?
I think I've got a clearer video in a second. It's just this one's got no music.
This is just bizarre, people.
Hang on. So that thing's moving left and right. I just thought, okay, that's quite robotic. It's left, right, almost like a rhythm. And then it's just stopped.
New Jersey.
A little bit. And now it's going mayhem again. What is going on?
These drone sightings are getting even more crazier as the days are passing by.
Do these look like conventional drones to you people? Do they? Do they, people? Like we've told you, how long are we all going to have to wait before this type of thing comes to a sky near you? This is what is going on out there. And as we've told you, these events and these sightings, they are not dissipating, they are intensifying on a daily basis, and they are spreading further and further to different places around the world. Okay, this is what is going on, people.
This was caught last night in New Jersey on December 16th of a super bright drone with bluish purple lights all surrounding. And it looks like it seems like it was caught or stuck in the tree. This had prompted about 7 police cars to respond to this matter.
All right, okay. I'm just throwing it out there. And these ball things, the alien sphere that Bob Lazar was trying to bloody reverse engineer, the anti-gravity things,
Who
the
knows,
balls which you
people?
sometimes see underneath these UFOs. I'm just putting it out there, right? I'm probably wrong, but I'm just putting it out there.
Matter. Let me know your thoughts and comment below. Things getting crazy.
This thing looks like an embryo to me. Okay.
The other day also, I mentioned to you how much history New Jersey has got for UFO sightings. Listen to this, man.
What people don't know is that Hudson County, New Jersey, northern New Jersey, is the #1 place in the country where they have.
This gentleman is talking about the New Jersey area apparently is the #1 area in the United States for UAP sightings. Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought it was Nevada, to be honest. I thought it was around area 51, but I must be wrong.
Have the most UFO sightings.
Really? Northern New Jersey.
Look it up, Jamie, if you get a minute, please, not to be rude.
But isn't that like near a couple airports?
No, it's closer to, like, you know, like when you live in New York City and you look at the Hudson River, they say that people go on their balcony, they're drinking coffee, they're talking on the phone, and they'll see a little flying saucer go by.
Really?
And I know for a fact that in 1976...
A little one?
Whatever the fuck they are. I know for a fact that in 1975 and 1976, you could check me out on this, a UFO landed in Hudson County Park. I was a kid, and the next day the feds locked off the park. They had yellow tape, they had samples. Go look it up, dog.
This
There's
is
a
just
UFO.
unbelievable.
You see that
Unbelievable.
That's called, North Bergen is where I'm from. That's called, I forget what it's called, but it's a circular building. So they did so much coke in there in the 80s, they called it the grinder. That's what they called it, because it was shaped like the Stonehenge. The Stonehenge. I have a couple of friends that lived there. People that lived in that building have seen UFOs for fucking years. And if you go to YouTube, there's an actual North Hudson Park UFO. Wow. They dug up, they came out, there's a liquor store. And the liquor store guy says he's seen the lights. You heard like the organ music that they play. Ooh. They landed, a couple Martians got out and took samples and got back in the thing and took off. There's a YouTube thing, there's a History Channel special about it, and I still remember being a young kid.
Did you find anything, Jamie?
That was what's popping up, all that stuff about that building and.
Oh yeah, no.
Is there anything that says a UFO landed?
That's the story I'm reading right now. Is what he's saying. Yeah.
And witnesses, you know, it's not just one guy that says I know UFO. It's people who got knocked on the door and said, "Did you see anything at 11, 10 at night?" And they said, "You know what? There were lights flashing outside." They contacted police departments to see if there was any. They went full. Then the FBI came in, circled the park. It was by the Little League field in Hudson County. But it is, like you'd think it was Area 51. You'd think it was close to northern Las Vegas. The #1 place to see UFOs is northern New Jersey. They even made a reference to it in The Sopranos. When he said something, he goes, "What are you talking about?"
And isn't it interesting that this whole UAP or drone situation in America all began at the start of November in New Jersey? Isn't that interesting, people? Because, as I said, this is just getting more bizarre on a day-by-day basis.
Last week you said you seen a UFO in Hackensack.
Now, there's one video that I just want to end on because I heard it today and I thought it was a really interesting story. And it's sort of could, if the story was true, explain a few things, okay? And it's something we've mentioned before on this video, on this channel before, all right? Take a little look at this. Make sure you go over to Poised On's Bastard 33. Listen to this gentleman.
Hey, Simon Trezellian here. Voice of reason, former intelligence operator in the covert ops role. So let's try this a different way. So this is for entertainment purposes only. And I'm going to tell you a story. It's purely fiction story, but it's a story nonetheless. Okay. So human beings, for some while, have been in communication with, shall we say, outside entities. These are interdimensional beings. Remember, this is a story. And those interdimensional beings have been sharing technology with the highest echelons of the intelligence community on Earth for some while. In fact, since about 1947, when this was really, where it all began, after a certain area called Roswell became into the news. Now, this links into a lot of ancient history, including tales from the Sumerians, which talk of a different race called the Anunnaki that came down to Earth and supplied human beings with technology in order to be able to progress. Now, it's got so far in this story that human beings have progressed to the point where we're almost becoming interstellar. Now, that means that we will no longer be earthbound in this 3D matrix that the other beings created in order to give us an indication as to a reality that they wish us to understand, and to blind us from the reality that we are infinite beings. Now, human beings by themselves have flaws, and these flaws were actually bred into them in some ways by our creators in this story. And that explains with the different DNAs, the different blood groups, the O negative element to that. And we can see that we hold not only some of the bloodlines, but also some of the flaws of our creators. So the creators have seen the problems that they created in history when they had their own wars. And they don't want us to go through the same thing, because human beings continue to have war. And that's okay, because it creates a balance in the world. But in this story, as soon as you start utilizing nuclear fission, it then becomes a threat not only to the nations that are involved, but also the planet itself. And the planet in this story is really delicate and needs to have a balance in order for these beings to be able to continue with their mission. And their mission is to increase the consciousness of this group of beings, which we call humankind, which are after their own image. So in this story, imagine that these beings monitor nuclear facilities, and have done since the early 40s, since the emergence of the atomic bomb. And a lot of these sightings of craft, which are interdimensional craft, and some are within the Earth itself, deep in the Earth and in the Earth's oceans, which they use to monitor us in the same way as they monitor us from the moon in this story. And the moon is a projection of a 3D matrix in this story. So imagine that things get out of hand with nuclear proliferation, and the beings have already been able to identify where our missiles are. They know that the missiles don't work, and they know that they can negate nuclear missiles. But imagine in this story that 40 nuclear warheads went missing after the breakup of the Soviet Union. So areas like Kazakhstan, Ukraine in this story, lost some nuclear munitions, which found themselves in a very deep black market. And say in this story that someone was able to take one of those nuclear munitions, and in the view of trying to create and disrupt the world, brought one of those nuclear munitions to the United States. At that point, different parts of the government that are in collusion with these beings in this story would seek to find that munition. And we have that ability now. It's called drones. And the drones go out there and can sniff for this, nuclear reactive munition in this story. And the plasma orbs in this story are the alien allies that too are trying to find this. And the plasma orbs are interdimensional in this story, where they can go in and out of dimensions and in and out of our reality. We see them one moment and then they disappear the next. So in this uneasy alliance between the beings that created us in this story and what we are doing to the planet in a number of areas, but most certainly the biggest threat to the agenda of these beings in which we are created in their image, they already see what we are likely to do. And should this munition go off, it would create massive change in the world. And that's a change that these beings are not willing to undertake. So at the very highest levels of government, these beings are speaking. They're making themselves known. We've known about them since the Middle Ages and beyond, probably 10,000 years BC. We've known about these, and they've been in constant contact with the leaders of our communities since time began. Now, as we emerge as a nuclear nation and species, we are now in the potential area of threat to destroy the planet in this story. And of course, this story is just pure fiction. Pure fiction.
Well, it's very interesting, this story. Okay, and as this gentleman said, it's just a fictional story, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting that these orbs or UAPs or drones have been showing up at military base after military base. And here we are, another military base that these things have been showing up at and flying around our skies with total impunity. So this is at Camp Pendleton. Okay, let's check this out.
Tonight, Camp Pendleton is acknowledging recent drone activity near the base as concern continues growing over mysterious similar sightings in New Jersey and other parts of the country. Welcome back. I'm Marcella Lee. Officials at the base tell us the drones do not belong to them. CBS 8's Brian White has the latest.
That's right. After hearing reports of possible drone incursions into Camp Pendleton airspace, I reached out to command personnel on base, and they confirmed those reports.
Captain James Sartain tells CBS 8 that over the period of a week from December 9th to the 15th, quote, there were 6 instances of unmanned aerial systems observed entering Camp Pendleton's airspace, with no threat to installation operations and no impact to air and ground operations, end quote. This follows similar reports of drone incursions over the Hill Air Force Base in Utah and the Wright-Patterson Base in Ohio. Unidentified drones have also...
So we've just talked there about the Wright-Patterson base, which we brought the footage from the other day, and there was clearer footage of it today in Ohio. It talked about another air base in a different state, and this base is in Southern California in San Diego. So I want people, like I said yesterday in the stream, to think about the geography of America. San Diego is about the furthest you could get from the tri-state area. Okay, the tri-state area is in the northeast of the USA, and San Diego is in the southwest on the border with Mexico. Okay, this is the furthest you could possibly get from the tri-state area. So as we've told you, this is spreading all over the United States of America.
It's been spotted over the U.S. airbase at Ramstein in Germany.
It's hovering. It's sitting right there.
In a closed meeting, members...
And they've also been over 4 RAF bases in the United Kingdom in November. I want people out there to think about that, because these things, like we've told you, whether they're orbs, plasmoids, drones, UAPs, whatever they may be, they are flying around our skies with total and utter impunity, people.
Of the House Intelligence Committee were briefed Tuesday on the mysterious drone sightings in the Northeast.
The takeaway for me was that the vast majority of the lights in the sky, according to these government officials, are manned aircraft. But again, show us the data.
We're getting multiple reports of drones in the area.
On Tuesday, CBS 8 received this video and reported on multiple 911 callers.
Now that looks like a conventional drone, but the other things that we've been showing you on a daily basis are quite clearly not conventional drones, are they?
Describing a possible drone in the skies near downtown San Diego and Coronado. But we confirmed with the Port of San Diego that it was a small manned airplane and not a drone.
This right here is our Enterprise Matrice 30T.
Kevin Gallego said Drones Made Easy showed me the largest drone they have for sale in the shop, and it's...
And these are quite clearly conventional drones. But what people have been reporting is the things the size of SUVs and school buses. These things that people have been reporting on a day-by-day basis across multiple states are quite clearly not conventional drones, people.
Blinking anti-collision lights required by the FAA.
Pretty bright, so right here at the top, this is going to be able to be visible up to 3 statute miles.
He tells me most hobbyist and commercial drones can fly for about 30 minutes on one battery, and they're only allowed to fly by the FAA up to 400 feet.
Did you hear that, people? That they can only fly for about half an hour at a time on one battery. The things that people have been reporting in the skies have been up there, some of them for 10 hours at a time. So, as we've said before, if there were batteries out there, okay, that could hold things up in the air for 10 hours that was the size of SUVs and the size of school buses, do you people really believe that people like Elon Musk wouldn't be all over that technology to put in their Tesla cars? Think about this, people. This is absolutely unbelievable what the authorities have been trying to feed to the public.
That doesn't match up with what some people are seeing in the sky.
What we're seeing is reports of people seeing aircraft flying for hours at a time. Those are going to be more fixed-wing aircraft, so kind of like a plane. The arms are fixed in position, and those can kind of fly around for a lot longer, for hours at a time.
According to the FAA, more than 1 million drones are registered in the country. Brian White, CBS 8.
Tonight,
And also, let's check out this, because more mysterious drones or UAPs have now been spotted over Texas, like we told you.
Well, mysterious drone sightings have people in the Fort Worth suburb of White Settlement a little bit concerned.
Yeah, joining this whole craziness across the nation where people are seeing these. Peyton May live with more on how police are now working with the FBI in this area to figure out who's operating these drones, because it's a no-fly zone.
And again, I want people to think about the geography of the United States of America. Texas is thousands of miles away from the tri-state area. This is spreading everywhere, and it is not just confined to the United States of America. This is spreading around the world. And I keep saying this, how long is it going to be, people? How long is it going to be before we start seeing this in the skies above where we live? Because, in my opinion, this is coming very, very soon to a sky near you.
Yes, Lauren and Brandon, White Settlement Police tell us they don't know who put the drones in the air or why, and they're concerned because of the proximity to a military base. While there's...
Oh, so again, it's in the proximity of another military base. Isn't that just the same as what we've had in all sorts of other states across the United States of America? And we're hearing the same story here, that the authorities have no idea who's in control of these drones or UAPs or orbs or whatever they may be. They've got no idea who or what is in charge of these things and what their intentions are. But they are flying very close or over some of the most restricted airspace in America. I want you to think about that, people.
There's been a lot of national attention of drone sightings on the East Coast. These are the first drones spotted in North Texas. Police say the drones flew over Loop 820 Tuesday night near the Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base in Fort Worth, and defense contractor...
So these drones, or UAPs, or whatever they may be, are flown over a naval base. I want people to think about this, and I wonder what exactly is at that naval base.
Lockheed Martin. Both residents and police officers took video of the drones flying. White Settlement Police Chief Chris Cook says his department and the FBI are taking the drones seriously.
I guess what's most concerning to us is, you see cases around the country where there's been improper photography, improper videography, intelligence gathering. I'm not saying that's what's happening here. We just don't know. And it's very concerning because it's a no-fly zone.
Chief Cook says there are criminal and civil penalties a person can face by flying drones without permission in a no-fly zone.
What on earth is happening, people? And there are all sorts of theories out there to what is going on, and as I've told you, the speculation is only going to grow because of the complete lack of information from our authorities. And the theory that I have heard people speak about the most, is Project Bluebeam. That is the one that I have heard more people speak about than anything, and this channel is some Christian lady who's also speaking about Project Bluebeam. So her channel is called Angela Marie Scafildi, and her channel is also talking about Project Bluebeam. So let's just hear what this lady has to say.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the drones that everyone is seeing in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, elsewhere. I know that here in Tennessee, people that even I know have said that they've seen them. It's definitely super prevalent.
So they've also been spotted in Tennessee as well, have they? As I said, people, this is spreading from state to state. This is not dissipating. This is intensifying on a day-by-day basis,
Up in the Northeast, though, for whatever reason, but everyone's talking about this right now. I decided to be another voice discussing it because I have a perspective that I pray will bless you today. With that, though, as you can see by the title, I do want to talk a little bit about Project Bluebeam. Do me a favor and see this video through before you run to the comment section with all of your theories and conspiracies, because this might not be exactly what you think it is, what I'm about to say. I want to first acknowledge, what Project Bluebeam allegedly is. So for those of you that don't know what the heck I'm talking about, you at least have some context for me to build upon. And then I'll kind of get into the meat of the message here. So Project Bluebeam is a theory that the government is essentially going to put on a light show projection in the sky to either convince the masses that there's a second coming of Christ or an alien invasion of sorts. And basically the centralized goal of something like this would be to orchestrate a one world religion under the New World Order. Because if something like this were to happen, you know, realistically, it would kind of force the nations to come together as one, under one order, under one belief structure, like in unison. So it's like a false flag of unity for the sake of control, basically scare everyone into the same mindset so that we're easier to manipulate and then, you know, therefore easier to submit to whoever it is telling us like they have the answers for us to overcome this thing or whatever. So whether that be an alien invasion, you know, well, there's a threat against us as an entire globe. So we have to come together globally and we have to listen to the leaders in charge that are going to protect us from that sort of thing. And then alternatively, if it were the second coming, then like, you know, whoever is claiming to be Christ or you know, the figure of the divine would then therefore have some sort of authority over us and we would submit to that. So, you know, obviously we know biblically those.
So we have, I want people to think about this. So we even have a Christian lady here who's talking about Project Bluebeam. This theory is absolutely going wild online at the moment, and I've got to say that this is the theory that I have heard most people speaking about as an answer to what is going on at the moment. And I'm not saying that this is what's happening, okay, but what I am telling you is I've heard more people talk about this in relation to their answer to what is going on at the moment than any other theory. And I am not saying that that is correct. I am just letting you know that this is what people are talking about online, and this is gathering pace day by day online. And is it any wonder when we have a blanket silence from our authorities? And let's go over here, okay, and let's look at more footage, okay, that invokes the ideas of Project Bluebeam in people's mind. Look at this.
Are they aliens? Are they fake? Are they real? Why are all those people watching these drones? Why everything is being reported at the news? Why does the government says nothing about it? We'll check it out. The last informations we have about the mothership as well, I'll show you in a moment. I liked some of these videos and I want to draw the attention to this. First, it's a big mistake to deny the things that we are watching. There are drones or UFOs out there. People are watching them. So to deny that, it's a huge mistake. Very, very big mistake. Don't do.
Nobody can deny that there are very, very strange things that are going on a daily basis in our skies at the moment. And no one can also deny that we are not being told the truth by the authorities. They are completely keeping us in the dark, people. That is where we are.
Do that, please. But be cautious. Now, I like very, very much this one. It's a good footage. These videos are all over, as you know, all over the social networks. There's a trick to watch these videos carefully. This is a nice footage of those drones. Look at them. You see?
Look at this, people.
They are on the sky.
They're above the clouds,
very
people. Does this
reliable.
Look like
this footage is very reliable. And you can see the natural drones that we have been experimenting. Now you have here this one. It's also a very common view that we have. This one was, although this one was from an airplane, So they are very high.
Again, people, this is a plane that's at cruising altitude. We have all been up in a plane, okay? And we know how high planes are at cruising altitude. This is not a conventional drone or a hobbyist drone that is being flown at these kind of heights that a commercial aircraft would be flying. This is insanity that anybody is swallowing the idea that this is a hobbyist drone.
In the sky, and that was a weird thing. This kind of lights, we usually see them. Look, there are lights. I watch a lot from telescopes. I know very well how to distinguish satellites from other objects like the International Space Station that we can see here, and the Tiangong Space Station, and planes, and helicopters, and even military planes. So these are for real, these kind of sites. I like this one very much as well. This one was from a cruise ship, and it's under the sea. So it's amazing. People is taking pictures and recording it with the smartphones, of course, and it's a bit weird. Is it natural? Well, it can be some device from a government that it's working here as well. But with those lights...
That one to me just looks like something floating in the sea, I've got to say. But some of the other things that we are seeing are just absolutely unbelievable. And the idea that there are things that are flying at the same altitude as a conventional commercial plane that's its cruising altitude, and people are being led to believe that this is something like a commercial drone or a hobbyist drone at those kind of altitudes is absolutely laughable, people.
Gets weird. It gets weird. We don't know what it is. That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't claim I know it. I have my intuition, as you should have. And for instance, these ones, you have to be careful about these ones. They are...
Again, this is more plasmoid footage. That footage that was just on the screen a moment ago, that was captured in New Jersey, which we showed you a few days back, by a news crew that had gone because they'd heard reports of drones out there. This is a television news crew that captured that and were absolutely gobsmacked at what it was and captured it on television, people. That went out on TV in New Jersey a few days ago.
Comparing it with this kind of image, we are very used to them using telescopes here to watch the sky at night. This is an effect from the atmosphere turbulence, and any star, if you get your telescope out of focus, you have...
This guy is wrong about this image, because we've shown this on Arno TV a few days back, and this was captured by a news crew in New Jersey, and he's just turned the sound down on this, but you can hear the lady from the news crew. You could hear her a moment ago speaking.
The stars doing like this, so it's the effect of the atmospheric turbulence. It's very...
That was captured in broad daylight in New Jersey a few days ago. And if anybody wants to go back and look at one of the previous streams, that was captured by a news team in New Jersey.
Very common for people that use telescopes, but most people don't. So they can't understand very well what the heck is this. But this image is very, very common. Be careful analyzing this image. This one is a fake. This one, they claimed it was a drone that was a big one, that was captured and being transported, and it was a fake. It's already fact-checked, so be careful again with those ones as well. And finally, the mothership that you saw on the thumbnail. This is a mothership. It's real? No, it isn't. This is from the Halo game. So
I never thought that was real, and anybody who's putting out this kind of stuff at the moment, okay, is not helping the situation, because the things that we are seeing in our skies at the moment are not things like this, okay? I mean, whoever is trying to, muddy the waters even further, putting these kind of images out there, they want to have a long, hard look at themselves in the mirror at the moment, because we're not about anything like that. All we are trying to do on this channel is show you the information that the media aren't showing you, and has been captured by multiple people worldwide, okay? This is not helping the situation, okay? I can see we're actually getting quite late again, so I'm going to start wrapping up this stream. But before I do, okay, the FAA, as it said in that one of those previous things that we looked at, are now putting restrictions on drones, and that is because they're finally wanting to get some kind of military or local authority aircraft in the air to try and find out what on earth is going on up there. And these things, like we've told you, have been flying around our skies with total impunity. And the complete lack of information from the authorities is absolutely unbelievable.
Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, has officially issued temporary flight restrictions on drones in several parts of New Jersey. And this as the state's ongoing mystery drone saga continues to befuddle and perplex residents and lawmakers alike. News Nation's Kelly Meyer is live at the Pentagon for us, where officials are slated to give a briefing in just a short while. Kelly, these new drone flight restrictions in Jersey dictate that the government may use, quote, deadly force against any unmanned aircraft deemed a threat. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, and it comes as thousands of Americans continue to report unusual drone activity to the FBI. We were here the other day at the Pentagon.
So does that mean what we've been saying for all along, that if the authorities genuinely don't know, as they've said, what these things are, who or what is in control of them, and what their intentions are, then why on earth did we not have, a lot sooner, some kind of military presence in the sky, at least trying to do something about what is happening in our skies, okay? And it now sounds like that they are now on the 20th of December, and bearing in mind that this all started at the start of November, finally talking about doing something of that nature.
And we'll be back in this briefing a short time from now, coming up within this hour, to ask more questions, including how exactly you would enforce something like that and patrol the sky, so to speak. And as you mentioned, the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, issued this ban on drone operations in several areas of New Jersey until January 17th, unless operators are granted special permission, they say, from the government due to special security reasons. Now, a statement from the FAA today reads, quote, at the request.
But we've had the FBI and the authorities coming out and telling people that everything that they've witnessed in our skies has either been a commercial drone, okay, a hobbyist drone, or some kind of conventional commercial vehicle, such as a helicopter or a conventional airplane, okay? And this is what they have been telling to the public. And, we've had airports, commercial and military, being shut down. We've had thousands of sightings across multiple states and around the world of these things that have been flying around our skies with impunity. And it's taken the authorities, okay, from the start of November to actually thinking about tackling what is going on in our skies. This is absolutely unbelievable, and who knows what is going to happen next. And if the authorities don't start coming out soon and giving some serious and answering some serious questions and telling the public what on earth is actually going on, the speculation is only going to grow further.
Of federal security partners, the FAA published 22 temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drone flights over critical New Jersey infrastructure. The temporary flight restrictions were implemented beginning on Wednesday in these locations you can see here: Camden, South Brunswick, Jersey City. And Democratic New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer, he's calling on the agency to do a public briefing to explain the call to ban drones, saying, quote, they must brief the public on the reason.
And there are theories out there, like we've told you, that this whole thing is to do with that there are drone laws that are about to expire in America at the moment, and the authorities the theory is that the authorities are using this whole situation to pass much more draconian laws around the usage of drones, and much more government overreach and infringement on people's personal private and personal liberties. Okay, but as we've said, this is only a theory that is out there because nobody actually knows what is going on. No one can say for certain what is going on because the authorities have provided zero answers
for their actions. Decisions like these made in a vacuum only lead to more confusion and uncertainty. These federal agencies must do better by Jersey families. And the Department of Homeland Security spokesperson also saying that the flight restrictions are being issued out of, quote, an abundance of caution here. Natasha.
Yeah, that's interesting. And Kelly, what about the counter-drone system that the U.S. military is sending to New Jersey bases? What do we know about it? How does it work?
Yeah, so this is something that the Pentagon press secretary, Major General Patrick Ryder, was touching on a bit when we were here on Tuesday, sending these counter-drone technology systems to these installations to...
Which is what we've talked about in previous streams and previous videos, that what you're looking at here, the drone buster, this is conventional technology that our militaries already have access to, where they can point these things up at the drones and they can either knock them out of the sky because it interferes with the frequency of the drone, as far as I understand it. And they also have technology where they can interfere with the drone and return that drone to the sender. Okay, now our authorities have repeatedly said that they have not been able to bring these drones or UAPs out of the skies with this kind of technology, and they have been able to evade this type of technology. And may I remind Arno TV viewers, this is what was said as well by the RAF when these things were flying around 4 RAF bases in November with total and utter impunity, and these are the same bases that we allegedly store our nuclear weapons, people. And this is what our authorities in the UK told us when this was going on. They didn't know who it was or what it was, what they were doing up there, who was in control of it or what was in control of it, and what the intentions were of these objects in the sky. And our same authorities told us nothing to panic about, and there is absolutely no threat to national security. And I want you to ask yourself, people, do you believe that? Because I do not believe that. And at the very least, if our governments had genuinely no idea who was up there or what was up there and what the intentions were of these objects in the sky, do you not believe that at the very least that we would have military aircraft in the skies trying to do something about it? Because that is what I believe.
Help detect these drones. And what this is called is a drone buster. And essentially, it sounds and does exactly what its name sounds like. These drone busters, they emit a signal which is able to interrupt the signal on the drone and bring it down. Here's Major General Patrick Ryder discussing this on Tuesday. Take a listen.
Counter UAS capabilities, things like let me make sure I get the name right here. like drone busters, which essentially emits a signal which is able to interrupt the signal on the drone, which can affect its flight. So that's a methodology.
And as I've said, our militaries have come out repeatedly saying that these objects, these plasmoids or orbs or UAPs or drones that have been flying around their airspace with impunity have been able to evade all usual methods of bringing them down, such as the technology that this gentleman is speaking about.
That we have that is able to essentially bring drones down non-kinetically should we need to do that.
Now, here's another part to this, Natasha, and a question we will have in this upcoming briefing is just how what's happening on Capitol Hill with the threat of a government shutdown could potentially impact the ability of the military to detect these drones and the work to detect these drones as many continue to send in those tips across the Northeast. Natasha.
I hadn't even thought of that ripple effect. I know you'll be bringing those answers from the briefing to us. Thank you for asking the questions, as always. Kelly Meyer with that. Thank you.
So there you go, people. There you go, people. Our military have had access to this kind of technology over the air bases that have already had these incursions, and they've been able to do nothing about what has been flying around the skies above some of the most restricted airspace that the United States of America have, and ourselves in the UK and in Germany. Yeah, but there's nothing to worry about, people. Absolutely nothing to worry about, and there is zero threat to national security. Now, do you believe what you have been told by the authorities, bearing in mind the type of footage that we have been bringing you about this issue? This is where we are, people, at the end of 2024 on the 20th of December. Okay? I'm going to start wrapping this up now because, again, it's after 1:30 in the morning again. So, again, this stream's gone on quite a while. Thank you very much for watching Arno TV, to all my subscribers, all my historic subscribers, and the new ones that have come in on the back of us covering this this topic, which is just getting larger and larger on a daily basis. But, I want to thank everybody for watching Arno TV. And as I've said before, if you're watching Arno TV, it's very important that you like and subscribe to this channel, because it will help the channel not only grow, it will grow the reach of this channel, and it will help us get this message out to the public, bearing in mind the authorities have been completely silent about what is actually going on. So please like and subscribe to this channel, and also like the video. If you're watching it back, if you're watching it in the stream, then please like the stream. But if you're watching it as a playback later, it's also really important that you like the video, and also share this on your social media. Share it with your friends. Get the reach out there, because people are not being told the truth about what is actually happening. And as we keep saying, how long do we all have to wait before this comes to a sky near you very, very soon, in your town, in your city, in your village, in your country? Because this is not going away, people. And we only have to look at the disclosure hearings that have gone on with people that have gone on in 2023 and 2024, where people such as Luis Elizondo and David Gresh have come out and stated on record that the American government and others is in possession of non-human technology. Okay, they have captured and retrieved non-human crafts, which they've been back engineering for decades, and they're also in possession of non-human biologics. This is not me that said this. This is on the record in the disclosure hearings in Congress last year and this year. And if you don't believe me, people, then go and look at those congressional hearings yourself. They are available freely on YouTube. We are not making this up, people. We are not being told the truth. Okay? But for now, I'm going to call it a night because, again, it's after 1:30 in the morning. So I will be back soon with some more streams or videos for you and bring you further updates on what is going on with this topic, okay? Because our mainstream media in the UK have been completely and utterly silent about it. But I will be back soon with some more streams or videos for you. But until I am, I want everybody to take care, look after yourself, your friends, your family, and your loved ones. And, you know, we will be back soon with further updates for you. But until I am, I want everyone to take care.